Oh yeah. If you live in Nashville, you might know Josh Colby. Josh Colby is a mix engineer and musician who runs the Vintage King down in Berry Hill. He actually helped me pick out and buy a lot of the stuff for my setup personally. Now, I follow Josh on Instagram and he posts these glorious photos of his own personal studio setup on Instagram, and every time I see them I go, why? I want that. Can I come look at that? And thankfully Josh hit me up and sent me an invite. So today we're gonna go check out his home studio setup, and I'm super pumped about it because it's really nice. I also am planning a new build and I want to learn from his setup and see how he does things. So I'm really excited about it. However, it is a little bit of a drive, so I'm going to go ahead and make a coffee first. You go ahead and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It's just right. It's the thumbs up right there. So I also wanted to give a big shout out to DistroKid for sponsoring this video. My wife and I actually just released a song on DistroKid. You can see that in this video. And one of the things that I used is this cool new feature that they have. It's called Hyperfollow. So essentially Hyperfollow is this completely free tool that you get when you use DistroKid. So here's how it works. When you finish uploading your song to DistroKid, then you can use the Hyperfollow tool as a way to get one link that you can share to start marketing your music. And what that link does is it leads to all of your music. So once your upload is finished, you can start collecting pre-saves, including email addresses with the Hyperfollow feature. You can find the Hyperfollow link on your DistroKid album page. Easy peasy. All right, I got my coffee. All right, let's go check out Josh's studio. Oh yeah.
Yep, this is it.
Dude, this is so nice.
So a lot of stuff is for personal use, like for songwriting or stuff like that, but
yeah,
primarily this room is mixing, mastering.
This is great, dude.
Yep.
Now, did you make this treatment yourself?
I did. Yep. Couple Home Depot trips, messed up a lot. It's
yeah.
Not perfect, but it does what it needed to do.
Dude, it's really nice.
Yep.
I love the colors and the textures. Did you get really particular with the fabric and stuff, or?
Not really. Yeah. As long as the thing with fabric, if I can blow through it and feel the air on the back,
yeah,
that means okay, good. That's what I want, because you can get the golfer to main stuff, and that's technically correct. But, as long as you feel air going through it, it's gonna do what you want it to.
All right, dude. What kind of desk is this?
So it is accompanied by Zeor. It's a Zeor OnDemand 18. They're Romania, somewhere in Western Europe.
Wow.
Or Eastern Europe, somewhere.
All right, so tell me, if you could, give me a rundown on your rig.
Yeah, so pretty much Mac Mini. Love using these things. My whole thing is I don't care about the flashy iMac screen or something like that. Just me. Put the money in an iMac, max it out, especially the Mac Minis. Especially now, the 2018s, you can do whatever you want to those things. Max them out. Put the money in that instead of getting this flashy Retina screen unless you're gonna use it. So yes, I've always used Mac Minis my whole life. They do it exactly what I need.
So hold on, let me pause you on that. Mm-hmm. Your Mac Mini is upside down.
Yes.
This is an important thing. Yes. Tell people why you did that.
So the reason why I do this too, for me at least, the Wi-Fi.
Oh, really?
That's another thing too. The Wi-Fi, it just doesn't. For some reason, when I have it this way, I get a better Wi-Fi connection up here. Also, I just think the Bluetooth stuff runs better too. It's just there's something about I was reading one time. There's something on the top that can restrict it. Yeah. From it, also heat too.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's probably the main thing.
So this heat, I have the 20. Is this this is in 2018? Is it? So the 2018 at least is the only one I know about. The fan is on the bottom.
Yep.
So that's where the heat comes out of.
Better. Yep.
So if you flip it upside down, then the heat can actually escape instead of overheating all of the internal components.
So I probably should have said that first. That's the main thing. But the other one's a lot of people don't realize about the Wi-Fi one though, because our router's way on the other side of the house. So
That's a good
It's
tip.
crazy, yeah.
Because I have mine mounted under my desk. They have like a Mac Mini mount, but it makes sense because when you slide it in, then the bottom is open.
It's open
to breathe.
Exactly. For the computer converters, I'm just using all universal audio stuff. I got the X16, and I'm using a twin as well. That's the wonderful thing about universal audio. You can just pretty much make this like monster UA rig if you want to. In daisy chain, I think it's like 5 units together, I believe. So
Yeah.
yep, using the X16, run it with the Apollo Twin, which the Twin is pretty much my monitor controller now. So you can assign it. If you put this first, obviously it's got to be first in the chain. This will control the monitor outputs in the X16 on the back.
Nice.
It's great. You don't have to deal with another monitor controller and stuff, unless you need it. But so that's the UA chain.
What are the pre's you're using most? Because you're doing a lot of mix work.
Do a lot of mix work, yeah.
Let's give 2 scenarios.
Yep.
If you're just doing like a vocal or a guitar overdub, what would you like? What's your go-to?
Go-to depends between 2 things.
Okay.
I go between this guy. It's a Vetus MA5. This is literally like my secret weapon to like tracking guitar cabs or vocals or kick drums. I swear by this thing. A lot of people, they're familiar with it, but they don't realize what it sounds like.
Yeah.
This little 28K button, that thing's magic on vocals. Like
What?
This is like my secret weapon. It's kind of, it's in the 1073 vein, but it's like totally its own thing.
Oh, cool.
Like
yeah.
it's just,
Well, that's my favorite.
and when you hear when you meet people that have an MA5, they kind of are like just like me. They get so giddy about it. They're like, "Well, this thing's amazing. Just try it, then you'll understand." Yep. So I use that, or when I'm doing tracking guitars too, I'll use the UA aux. Is what I've been using lately too.
Is that the guitar thing?
Yeah, it's a guitar thing. This guy. Yep.
Oh.
So you can assign like 6 different presets with it. So I have like 6 of my favorite cab types, and I can just go into it, pick whichever one I want, and you're done, and you're up and running. So this is where the preamp comes back in again.
Oh, okay.
Yep, so you connect to it via Wi-Fi, whether it's on an iPad or like your MacBook or something.
What?
And you control it. It gives you 2 different mic selections you can do. You can like use, I typically choose a 57 and a 121. I'll be honest, I barely mic up guitar cabs anymore. Because of this thing.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, well, you
it
have an
sounds
excellent
so
collection
good.
here.
Yep. And I just have all these going right into the aux and does the back end stuff. And you
that's
can like,
great. Yeah. Okay, now I understand. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm slow.
It's like the best of both worlds for people that like using a Kemper or something, but you still miss like hitting an amp and using pedals and stuff. So it's best of both worlds.
Okay, so
Great.
for anyone who's as dumb as me, you plug into your chain into your amp head or amp, and then go speaker out into the aux.
Yep.
Got it.
It's awesome. And it's a attenuator, load box, that kind of thing too, and cab
Nice.
IRs and stuff. It was a game changer for me.
Hmm.
So that kind of goes back to the preamp thing. So when I am doing it, instead of going directly into the interface, so technically it's like a line out in the back, you can go right into your interface. I'll still go into a preamp. I'll either go into the MA5 or go into one of the burls too.
Okay.
Just to make it kind of gives it a little bit more realism back, more 3-dimensional thing, but
Yeah, the burls are pretty transparent, right?
yeah,
Nice.
they're awesome. They're dark, different sounding, fat.
Yeah, fat,
I love them.
for sure.
Yeah, they're great. So that's like the guitar stuff, vocals.
And then drums.
And drums, it's a little mix of everything. So obviously the burls, love those on drums.
Okay.
Fads them up. I typically I've been using the B ones lately on toms. If I have 2 racks, just a 1 up, 1 down. I'll use the B1D on snare, and I love the MA5 on kick. And then everything else, it's just a hodgepodge. Like my overheads, I like the 511s on these. And you can do, these are by Rupert Neve Designs. You can add the silk in and, add a little bit more coloration to it. You can pull the silk out. It kind of works in parallel, which is cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, whereas like a traditional 1073, the more you drive it, pull the attenuator back, the more coloration you get. But sometimes it's a little too gritty.
Yeah.
So you just do, with the silk off, they're kind of more transparent, a little bit cleaner. Pop in the silk, and you can do it in a parallel fashion.
Oh,
like
oh,
transform
yeah,
sound.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. So you got a little bit more control.
What are you mixing on? Like, what software are you using?
So I typically use Pro Tools.
Okay.
I've been using for years.
Yep.
Luna's been really intriguing to me.
Yep.
Eventually, there's a few things I'm hoping that they get. Hardware inserts, multi-track drum editing, and audio suite.
Audio suite,
Totally
big one.
in. Like, I'm totally just going to switch. But other than that, like the key commands, the muscle memory of everything, it's just there.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
What do we got on the desk here?
As you can see, I'm if anyone has suggestions, there's like 1,000 things I want to put in there. I don't know what I want to do yet. So
Yes.
So these are kind of what I've picked so far. So this is the company IGS Audio. I believe they're out of Poland. This S-type compressor, it's based off of, it's like a SSL G bus. This thing is incredible. And they're like
Nice.
$800.
Okay.
This thing is awesome. I've been really blown away. I tried it just for the heck of it. It does the SSL thing.
Are you using it on your mix bus insert?
Yeah, I'll do it in the mix bus typically.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll use it on the drum bus, but being on a native system, I like to do a lot of parallel
Yeah.
buses too.
Yeah.
So you got to think of the, there's
Latency and stuff.
So typically these days mainly I'm a mix bus, unless I literally only have one drum bus,
yeah.
which is rare. I always have a bunch of buses, but
Yeah.
So I got those. So next I've got the Rupert Neve Designs 542s.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love these things, primarily for a mix bus thing too. And sometimes I'll run my kick and snare through them too, which is really cool if I want to have a little bit more tape saturation. Really these days though, honestly, I use these more for the literally red and silk. So these are typically at the end of my mix bus chain.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I use the tape if it calls for it. Sounds awesome.
Just a little more color.
Just a little bit more color, but most of the time, just take this tape off and just have it for the 2 transformer options to hit when I'm going back into Pro Tools.
Okay.
So just, I don't know, just beefs things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Makes it for
Gives it your own
lively.
little thing.
Yep. And then these guys, Trident ADB EQ, highly recommend these. They're amazing. Like just super, like the top end is like silky smooth on them. And if you've ever worked on an ADB, you know the EQ sound.
Yeah.
They're awesome. I just love them. They don't color the sound too much, which I don't want that.
Right.
For me, at least, when I'm tracking with EQs. So these, I use them like kick, snare. I use them on vocals sometimes, but
4-band?
yep.
Nice.
Like $400 a piece, can't beat it on
Oh,
those.
cool.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yep.
That's great.
They sound really good. Next, love these things, DVX 160 XTs. These are the, obviously the original ones. They've came out with like the 160As and the 500 series 560As now. I just love them. They do one thing and do it great. If you just need basic compression, nothing to alter the sound, color it or anything.
Yep.
They're perfect. Like I'll use them on, lately I've been using them on toms. Just
Really?
to kind of control the transients a little bit.
Oh, cool.
But they're barely moving, like just a little bit. They sound really cool. They're really snappy.
Nice.
They're great on bass.
Yep.
Snare drums are cool. Just gotta be careful of them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's those things. So if you can find a pair of these, the XTs, you can probably find them on like Reverb, Craigslist, once around here and there. I'd highly recommend picking up a pair. They're just like a workhorse
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And then, of course, you got the goat right underneath it.
Exactly. Gotta have one. Yeah, that thing's a workhorse. Yep. You know what to use it on. Kick, snare,
Yeah.
vocals, everything.
Dude, this thing is great.
Yep. Yeah, it's amazing.
I know Eric Valentine uses him on his mix bus.
I've heard people doing that.
It's
Yeah,
nuts.
I wish I had to try them on, but yeah.
Typically, I've always shied away because there's so many options.
Yeah.
Like I'm an 1176 guy because I like input and output.
Exactly. It's just that's it.
I'm
Yeah.
like compression
Yep.
and level.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I don't use it that much. I like literally the 3 ways I use a Distressor. I use it either like I would 1176, or I could put it in opto mode, which kind of does the LA2A thing, obviously without the tubes and stuff. And then if I'm running a bass guitar through it or a kick, just pop that on, just to so it doesn't compress the.
Yeah.
But in that's literally the 3 uses I use it for. Once in a great while, I'll use it on. I like the Distortion 3 for snare drum once in a while, and sometimes if I want to print a snare through it if it needs it, I'll print it through, and it sounds really cool. But other than that, I keep it simple with it because there is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this Coleman? Oh, is this a speaker
Yeah.
selector?
So this is the monitor switcher I'm using right now. So I got this. So this coming out from my Apollo, going into this, and then I can choose between Focal Shape 65s or the Atom A7Xs.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. So it's passive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Because with the Apollos, you can do like an alt switch if you want to assign it, but with me, I really like using the D to A monitor outputs on the X16.
Yeah.
So this was my workaround to be able to use that same D to A and still switch between monitors. And it's also got a sub on it too.
Yeah, that's
which is
killer.
cool. Yep. Because with the Apollos, you really can't. As far as I know, there's no way to like.
It's complicated.
Exactly.
You can. You have to. I wound up digging into it, but that's for another video.
Exactly.
I'll do another video on that.
Yep. So next, this guy. This is by SPL Vitalizer. It's a 2 version. Absolutely love this thing. I use it primarily on my mix bus or for when I'm mastering. Funny part, the only parameter I truly honestly use on it, and sometimes I'll use these different. It's kind of like a program EQ in a way, but not really.
Okay.
I literally use it just for this guy, the stereo
stereo?
expander. It's amazing. It just sounds so good. If I need to do stereo expansion.
And then you got the new Mew?
Yeah, so it's
a limiter?
Mew. Yep. Mainly, it's newer. It's like in their new series of, like the core series, if you're familiar with that.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially is a Mew. It's got like the same front end, but the back end's different. It's solid state.
Oh, cool.
So the difference between that and the Mew is going to be obviously a lot more colorful, more gooey and stuff. This one is a little bit faster. I feel like the compression feels faster.
Oh, cool.
It's a little more transient focus. So that's why I went with this one. And I literally went with this one too, literally for this parameter too. This HIP function. So what that does is it doesn't try to compress all the, especially because I do a lot of heavy rock. So I want those drums to punch. I don't want them
squashed.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want squash. So it's going to allow a lot of those transients to come through.
Okay.
But it's going to still, compress everything else around it.
Okay.
So it's really cool. So it doesn't pump so much. You can still get a couple dB gain reduction. Yeah. But it's not going to pump because if that snare is like slamming, it's going to, because it's...
Which is what we want.
It's going to go bam down. You're going to hit like... You'll hear it pumping in and out. What's
funny is I use the Mew on overheads for the pumping.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I like the close mics to have the heavy...
Exactly.
Direct transient. But I like the energy, especially with the R88, of you get that pumping on that mic, dude. It sounds really cool.
Yep.
And then you got 3 more goats.
Yep. Got the 2 Universal Audio Classics. They're reissues at 1176s. Awesome. It's a staple. You gotta have it.
Yeah.
You gotta have at least one.
Two is a dream.
I was like, for me, I had to have 2. That was always my dream to have a pair of these. I'm like, you gotta do it. So we got the Focal Shape 65s and the Atom A7Xs.
Beautiful. What a
awesome
great setup.
monitors. Yep. I've been using Focal for quite a while, and I've just started using Atom audio monitors. They're awesome. I've been so super happy with them. The Focals, super subjective. This is my ears. They kind of are like, they're like what you listen to music on, like a hi-fi thing.
Okay.
That's kind of what I've been viewing them as. So that's why I really like using them, especially when I'm mastering or something. It's another reference to like, oh wow, this is how it's gonna sound kind of thing. One thing I do love about these though, they use passive radiators on the side. So instead of using ports, they use passive radiators to help with the low end. So they're really tight. You can keep them close to walls. And they're really cool. I love the Focals. They've been really good. And then the Atoms, just started using those not too long ago.
Yeah.
I've had a blast with these things. Like, the imaging is ridiculous on them.
Yes.
And I feel like,
absolutely.
Obviously I probably can't hear above 16 kilohertz, but with them, because the tweeters in those extend up to 50 kilohertz, it just opens up the top end so much. I've noticed I've been able to, I like to, obviously, when I'm mixing, I keep the volume as low as I possibly can do it.
Okay.
But man, I've been mixing on the Atoms a lot lately. I can keep them. I've been running them at like 90, 95 dB. And terrible. I should be doing that.
I was gonna say.
But man, they don't fatigue me.
No, they're great.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying them. They're punchy, especially a lot of the heavy rock stuff I do. Man, they just translate so well for it. So I've been really happy with them. And
are you using a sub?
I am using a sub.
What sub is it?
It's actually an old Hafler sub. It's kind of hard to see it. Yep. My mess of cables, but
nice.
It's a downfiring sub too.
Oh, wow.
It's really cool. Yeah.
That's,
so
that's
Hafler,
nice.
It's great. I'm loving it. That thing.
How big is it?
It's a 12.
12.
Shakes my whole house.
Yes. Oh. Before I leave, please play me some
stuff.
stuff.
I will. Yep. That thing, it cranks.
All right. So what's this? This is the booth?
Yeah, this is where I've been doing the vocals lately. It depends. Sometimes I do them here, or I'll do them in the tracking room. But I don't know. They just sound really good in this space. I put these just panels up. I don't know, something about it. I got to be on headphones, obviously.
It's so vibey.
But yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
We've got the control room in here, booth, guitars and racks and stuff over here, keyboard station, and then you have a separate tracking room.
Yep.
This is, dude, look at all these drums.
Yep.
So you're obviously a drummer.
I'm a drummer, as you can see.
So,
like the Horde snare drum.
Yeah, this is incredible. How long have you been collecting drums?
Oh gosh, as long as I can remember. My father's a drummer too, so he started me very young, and just kind of happened.
Is that a Crappiato? What kit is that?
So this kit, it's what a lot of these snares are. It's a company up in Michigan.
Okay.
Black Swan Percussion. It's their custom division called Dynamics Drums. And I've been using a lot of their snares, which they're my favorite. I highly recommend their stuff. And a good friend of mine, Jamel, he's one of the guys there, and incredible craftsman. I mean, nicest guy in the world too. They don't necessarily do like the drum kits. They do snares, and they specialize in like orchestral percussion. But yeah, he built me. I wanted a custom like old school kit, and he built me one. I'll show you like my cool little logo on there.
No.
Yeah, I was like, gotta do something up.
That is beautiful. Look at that. What a nice finish. Yeah. And cool hardware too.
Yeah, they came out really cool. I had a couple 1960s Slingerland kits, and at the time I was like really into like the heavy rock. Like, oh, who's gonna use them? I was probably 18 at the time. Yeah. Who's gonna use these vintage kits? I don't want these. I wanted. That's what I wanted. Custom kits. So I ended up selling those Slingerland kits to pay for studio time out in New York, and I sold them for like $300, $400 maybe for all. Yeah, exactly. And now I'm kicking myself to this day because that kit is, the ones that I had are worth a mint now. And now with that blowing up, everyone wants vintage drum kits. Yeah, it's like great. So that's the story. And he helped me build a kit and stuff. But
that's awesome.
They're awesome. And with that, and then obviously hodgepodge of snare drums, a couple old Ludwigs, and I like to have variety. It's cool.
Yeah. Is that an Acolyte right in the middle?
This one is. Oh, I'm a drummer. I should know this. What is that badge? It is
Superphonics.
One below that. Oh jeez, I can't. That's terrible.
Not Superphonics.
What do they
Let
call
us know
it?
down in the comments.
I'll think of it after.
It's not Superphonics. It's not Acolyte.
No, it's I'll remember after we're done with this.
Okay, perfect.
So,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, amazing.
And what's this custom kit?
So this one, it's a company. Love the name Fatty Custom Drums.
Fatty?
Yep, Fatty
nice.
Custom Drums.
Yeah, that is a Fatty.
They're actually no longer in business anymore. The guy actually he passed away in a car accident in like 2014. But I've been using his drums for a while. But amazing drum kit. So if you ever find one on the used market, his craftsmanship is incredible.
Do you have a favorite personal one that you like to go to, or is it sort of like it's subjective?
It's subjective. It's what I'm feeling that day. It's in the song. Like, I love playing on this kick, especially this monster kick drum. This is 24 by 24. I love playing on it.
So monster.
So fun. It's like big, but it just depends. Like I do it like so when I'm doing a lot of rock stuff or something that needs something really punchy. Yeah. I'll typically use this kit, but if I want the vintage vibe, fat drums, I just pop those up and.
All right, quick rundown on mic setup for the drums.
You got it. Let's do the rims first.
Oh yeah.
AEA R92s. Absolutely love these things on rims. So what's really cool about these two, I'll use them, if I ever track a guitar cab. Yeah. I like using this on the cabs too because the front capsule, they have different voicings on the front and back. Okay. So the front's a little darker, the back's a little brighter. I typically like to use the fronts just for the drums because with my rooms, I don't want a lot of cymbals hitting them hard, because I have to crush them.
It's gross.
But then exactly. So awesome microphones, absolutely love them. So for overheads, I use these guys. So we use old 13 FETs. Love these things.
Oh, cool.
They're such good. Yeah, they just. The kit sounds, for them being a small diaphragm, the kit sounds massive underneath them. Like they're awesome.
Soyuz? What is it?
Soyuz.
Soyuz. Okay, cool.
They remind me of like a KM84.
Okay.
But they're still.
Because I was looking, I'm like, it's such a similar Neumann
like
kind of thing.
Exactly. So to me, they kind of do the thing, but it's still a little different. But amazing. I've been using those for a while. Toms, I just either use Sennheiser E604s or like Onyx D4s, and then snare SM57. Pretty much, you can't go wrong with it.
Oh yeah.
I've tried a lot of other mics. I don't know. I just always end up with those. They're great. And then I'll pop a D-drum trigger on here too. Okay. So I kind of do both. Because with snare drum, I do like to use samples a lot. Mm-hmm. So when you have a trigger on there, it just gives me flexibility to, you can get all the ghost notes and stuff. I don't have to worry about, exactly. Triggering. Yep, exactly. Because it just does like little clicks and stuff.
What's in that kick drum?
That's a AKG D112.
Perfect.
Awesome. Yep, can't go wrong with it. Does what it needs, yep. And like hi-hats, it's a Lawton Audio LA120s, which these are actually really good small diaphragm condensers for, especially if you're looking for your first pair. They're like $400, I believe, for a match pair of them. Awesome. I use those.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. They're great. Okay. Awesome microphones. They do great. Just using it on the hi-hat lately. And then for snare under, I actually use a modeling mic. It's fun. It's Antelope Audio's. What are those ones that
Oh,
Yeah, they're Verge ones. That's what they're called.
nice.
It's cool.
So you can switch like
Yeah,
whatever
different
it's
mic
model.
models. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
It's really cool. Yep.
Can you do it after you record?
Yeah, that's what I do it after you record. Yeah, as long as you go into a really clean mic pre, because
Yeah.
I don't have any analog mic pre's or interfaces, so
Yeah.
it just works best if it's super clean mic pre. You're good to go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it still works.
And then you got the PreSonus monitor station headphone box.
Yeah,
Is that how that's working?
Yeah, I just use it as a headphone box. That's what I used to use.
Oh, okay, that's smart.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got the snake going
Yep.
into the control room.
Mm-hmm.
Behind the scenes here.
Yep.
16 channel. I just bought this. I just bought the same snake.
It works great. I've had that thing
C and D
forever.
line outs
Yep.
into line inputs.
Yep. Line inputs on my PreSonus monitor controller, because I used to use that and I was like, I didn't have a use for it. I'm like, I'll just use it for my headphone, because I can me being a drummer, I drum really loud,
Mhm.
and I can't hear well at all these days. So I can get a lot of juice out of that PreSonus.
Yes. Okay.
That's why I do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a rigged way of doing it, but that's what I had.
No.
It's perfect. Like,
No, that is genius,
Yeah.
because I'm not getting enough juice out of
you don't.
out.
From if you're going right to the thing, so I play into
Apollo.
that because that's power to get more juice.
Yeah.
That sounds okay, but yep.
Dang.
So there you go.
I just
Yeah.
sold I had a big knob. I just sold it
Yeah.
to Andrew. Can I have that back, Andrew?
Yeah, right. Get that back.
And I was thinking
Yep.
of holding it on just for
Yep.
a headphone little mixer
something,
thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it works. Does what I need. I just go out from the Apollo. I just have just a Y cable coming out from the headphone out,
Yeah.
and I can control the volume that way. Yep.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, does what I need.
Oh man, that's
Yep.
great.
Gotta use
That's
what
been
you
a-
got.
That's been a
Yep.
big thing for me, because I'm like, I have to turn my headphone out all the way up,
Yep.
and then if like you get an email notification or something,
Yeah, and it just
something
yeah, exactly.
just rocks your
It rocks
world.
Yep. Yeah, that's been working great. It's actually too loud sometimes, but
I love that the drums are in a separate space.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't have the space yet, but I am very much looking forward to being able to have it in its own room. And it is like it's not like a small room.
Correct,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And it's cool because you
Still
have the
good,
vaulted ceilings,
Yeah.
but it's a deep room.
it's a deeper, yeah.
And there's a lot of space here, which is I mean, for as the musician being in your own room
Yeah.
or booth, sometimes it's a little claustrophobic.
claustrophobic,
So
yeah.
this is
I want to make sure it's enough. I still gotta get the treatment out. As you can see, my mishap of trying to Velcro treatment out. And wife was not happy about that, but
it
it is what it is. And
Are you using these cabs?
once in a while I do. I haven't used this one in a while, but this one I will. This is just a Fender basement cab, so I use that when I'm tracking bass.
Are those 12-inch speakers in there?
I think so. They are. There's two of them. Yeah,
That
they're
is
like diamond. I
massive.
think they go from there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think they're 12s.
That is massive.
Sounds awesome.
All right, and then I want to check this out back here. You've got your headphones,
Yep.
hooks, super convenient for the drummer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Spare single pedal, extra stands, and then accessory shelf.
Accessories, whatever,
This is genius though, because it's like when you're sitting over here,
Yep.
it's nice. I always have a drink. You just have the drink
Yep,
down.
always have a drink. Yep.
You can plug the headphones in. You can control it on your own. You've got the drum key sticks and a percussion,
Yep.
some tambourine.
And that's actually an entertainment stand from Walmart.
It's great though.
You see, I go to Walmart a lot.
It's
Yeah,
great,
it's like
man.
$10. Yep.
And then you got a window back here too.
Got a window. Yep.
That is nice. And this room is really well air conditioned,
Yes, that's very important.
which is
Very important.
crucial. Let's check out the lounge.
The lounge, man cave, whatever we call it. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
This is really, really nice. Lots of space.
Yep.
You got a really comfortable couch.
Yep. Gotta have it.
Seating for up to 4,
Up to 4 roughly.
if not more than that, which is
Yeah.
great.
You can make it work. Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to be able to kick people out of the control room.
Well, that's why I didn't want to say it, but that's why it's important to have a lounge.
So this is super comfy. Got the TV, the nice, way too nice of monitors for this lounge
They
area.
were perfect. These are my first set of monitors I ever got. I probably got them when I was
cool.
about 16 or 17. This is probably 2004 or 5.
Yeah.
Bought them off. It was when Craigslist was kind of starting around. I found them on Craigslist that had that power amp with it. And I just kept them. They're actually really good monitors. So I just use them. they're passive, so I just have my receiver powering them. They're great.
I love that you have the proper receiver stereo setup.
Yep.
In the lounge too. Like, this is crucial. At East West we had like the craziest lounges, but they didn't have this.
Yeah.
And people would be like, "Hey, can we plug in our thing to listen to some music?"
Yeah.
And we'd roll in some ATC 25s or whatever. I'm like, we shouldn't be using
those. Yeah.
$10,000 monitor.
But yeah, that's what I wanted. Like, I love listening. I love just like chilling and listening to music. So it's like, why not make a cool setup and have the sub with it?
Place to eat.
Yep, exactly.
Dude, this is super nice. Thank you so much for showing me around. And
of course.
I'm going to wrap this video up. Make sure to go check Josh out on Instagram. Any other things? You got a website or anything?
Oh, joshcolbymusic.com.
Josh Colby.
Super easy.
Link in the description. The mixing, mastering.
Yep. Mixing, mastering.
So go check him out. His Instagram is super duper, like way nicer than mine. Way better pictures and way good gear. He works at Vintage King here in Nashville.
You work at Vintage King Audio, so
if you want to go get some gear and you live in Nashville, go hit him up.
Hit me up.
He's in there. He helped me get a lot of the stuff for my studio, so go check that out. And we're gonna go listen to some tunes in his control room.
You gotta hear that sub.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Cool.
All right, thanks, man.
Awesome. Thanks.